Imagine stepping onto a world where the sky glows red, where the sun is just a dim spark, and where every single breath you take isn't guaranteed. For centuries, Mars has been the planet of mystery, the wall between dreams and danger, the beginning of questions and the end of certainty. But tonight, picture this. What if you had to survive there? Not for a lifetime, not for a year, but just for 30 days, no grocery stores, no oxygen-rich air, no familiar blue sky above your head. Every second calculated, every breath borrowed. You would face bone-chilling nights colder than Antarctica, radiation storms more brutal than anything Earth has ever unleashed, and a body slowly changing in ways you never thought possible. This is not science fiction. This is the raw truth of human survival beyond our planet, and it all starts with a simple question. What happens if you live on Mars for 30 days? Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will shake your imagination, challenge what you thought you knew about space, and open doors to a future where Mars may not just be a dream, it could be our next home. And before we begin this thrilling journey through the Martian frontier, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment to join us in uncovering mysteries that lie beyond the stars. The moment your boots hit the Martian surface, you are standing in an atmosphere that is utterly alien. It looks calm, almost peaceful. The faint winds stir red dust, the horizon shimmers under a pale, distant sun. But here's the hidden truth: the very air surrounding you is your enemy, unlike Earth. Where every breath fills your lungs with oxygen, Mars offers you nothing but poison. 96% of its atmosphere is carbon dioxide, an invisible killer that suffocates life before it even begins. Now picture this: you take a single step without your helmet sealed tight, and in less than 20 seconds, your body begins to betray you. Oxygen drains from your blood. Your vision narrows to darkness. The carbon dioxide you inhale doesn't just fail to sustain you, it strangles your very cells, robbing them of the breath they need to survive. Your lips would turn blue, your muscles would spasm, and within moments, consciousness slips away forever. On Mars, the air itself is not a gift, it's a trap. Even if you survive those first minutes by clinging to your life support system, the challenges only grow more complex. Every breath you take inside your suit is the result of careful engineering: oxygen tanks strapped to your back, pressure systems keeping the gas stable, scrubbers removing the very carbon dioxide that is trying to poison you. But those tanks are finite. 30 days means rationing every molecule, every exhale accounted for, every system constantly checked and rechecked. Forgetfulness is not an option. Mistakes are unforgiving. If your oxygen runs out, there is no backup plan, no second chance. Think about this wall of mystery here on Earth. Air is free, abundant, invisible, and endless. On Mars, it becomes a currency more precious than gold, a commodity you carry with you like treasure, and one leak, one crack in your helmet could mean instant catastrophe. Imagine the sound of your oxygen alarm screaming inside your helmet as levels drop, your breaths becoming shorter, faster, desperate, and there's no one coming to save you. It's you, a fragile human body, and an entire planet designed to keep you out. But there's another twist. Mars' atmosphere is not only poisonous, it's thin. So thin, in fact, that standing there is like trying to breathe atop a mountain 3 times taller than Mount Everest. At that pressure, water inside your body doesn't behave the way it should. It boils, evaporates, escapes. Your saliva would fizz, your blood itself could begin to bubble. This is not the slow creep of suffocation. This is the raw violence of a world where your biology simply doesn't belong. Scientists know this. They've studied it. That's why any mission to Mars will require habitat modules, sealed bubbles of Earth transplanted onto alien soil. Inside, every cubic meter of air is controlled, balanced, and maintained. And yet, even in those safe havens, the danger lingers. A single puncture in the habitat's wall, a small tear in a suit, or a malfunction in an oxygen generator, and the countdown begins. The red dust, fine as powder, is abrasive enough to damage seals and filters. The freezing winds could tear at structures. Mars does not forgive human error. Every breath is survival. Every breath is borrowed. Now imagine the psychological weight of this. 30 days of knowing that if you simply take off your helmet, you die. 30 days of knowing that the very world outside your window, with its red dunes and alien beauty, is simultaneously breathtaking and breathless. It is as if Mars itself whispers to you, you do not belong here. And yet, here lies the paradox: the danger also defines the dream. Because if humanity can survive where the air is unbreathable, if we can build a life in the shadow of a planet that rejects us, then we prove something extraordinary: that the limits of our survival are only the beginning of our story. The air we cannot breathe becomes the challenge that forces us forward. The poison becomes the spark of innovation. And Mars, the planet that tries to kill us with every inhale, might one day be reshaped into a place where human lungs can finally breathe free. The moment you take your first step on Mars, you realize something extraordinary. Your body feels lighter, as if the red planet is letting go of you. The familiar weight that Earth has pressed on you since birth is suddenly gone. Mars only holds you with 38% of Earth's gravity. It's a strange grip, delicate yet deceptive. At first, it feels exhilarating. You can jump higher, your stride carries you farther, and with each step, it feels like you've been set free. For a moment, you laugh inside your helmet, marveling at how easy it is to move. But then, the reality begins to set in. That freedom carries a hidden cost. On Earth, gravity is the invisible trainer of your body. It sculpts your bones, strengthens your muscles, and keeps your blood flowing the way it should. But in the lighter grasp of Mars, your body begins to change, and not for the better. After just a few days, your muscles start to weaken. Every step feels easy, so your body doesn't bother to keep up its strength. The bones in your legs and spine, no longer pressured to hold your Earth weight, begin to thin, to lose density. It's a silent erosion, one you cannot feel at first. But inside, your skeleton is slowly becoming fragile, like chalk left in the rain. Imagine this: you bend to pick up a tool after 2 weeks, and the strain that once meant nothing now carries risk. On Earth, your bones are built for impact. On Mars, they are slowly being unbuilt. A stumble, a fall, could mean more than a bruise. It could mean a fracture. And here, far away from Earth's hospitals, even a small break becomes life-threatening. Gravity, the force that once defined safety, now conspires against you by its absence. And then there is your heart, that powerful muscle, pumping tirelessly against Earth's pull, suddenly finds the job too easy. On Mars, blood redistributes through your body differently. Fluids shift upward. Your face puffs, your legs thin, your balance wavers. Dizziness creeps in when you stand. Headaches follow when pressure builds behind your eyes. Astronauts who've lived in low-gravity environments on the International Space Station have returned with blurred vision, weakened bones, and muscle loss. Mars amplifies these effects. 30 days on its surface would leave your body altered in ways you may never fully recover from. Even your movements betray you. With less gravity holding you down, momentum becomes both a gift and a danger. You leap too far, stumble too fast, and suddenly the ground rushes toward you. The fine Martian dust, slick and treacherous, offers no grip. Inside your suit, bulky and heavy, you are not a graceful pioneer. You are a fragile traveler, fighting to stay upright in an environment that feels like a dream but acts like a trap. And then there's the long-term nightmare. Scientists warn that living under weaker gravity for extended periods could permanently change human physiology. Children born on Mars, if that future ever arrives, might grow taller, thinner, with weaker bones, unable to ever return to Earth's crushing pull. Even adults who stay for months could return home only to find themselves strangers in their own bodies, struggling to walk under the weight of the planet they left behind. 30 days might seem short, but the changes begin almost immediately. Your muscles ache differently, your stamina fades, and even your sense of balance rewrites itself. Behind this wall of mystery, there lies one haunting truth: gravity is not just a force, it's a law your body has always obeyed. On Mars, that law is rewritten. And every second you spend in its strange embrace, you drift farther from the human form Earth has shaped for millions of years. For 30 days, you may feel lighter, but when the time comes to return, you may find that the lightness carried a weight you'll never escape. At first glance, Mars looks like a desert frozen in time, rust-colored plains stretching endlessly, mountains taller than anything on Earth, and valleys so deep they swallow entire cities. But beauty hides danger, and on Mars, the cold is not a passing chill. It is a merciless predator that waits for the sun to set. Every night, the red planet transforms into a frozen tome, dropping to temperatures as low as minus 125 degrees Celsius. That is colder than Antarctica's darkest winter, colder than anything your body has ever endured. For 30 days, you are not simply living on a planet, you are battling its ice, cold breath every single moment. Now picture this: the sun sets beyond the Martian horizon, a pale disk shrinking into the dust-filled sky. The warmth it gave, already faint, vanishes almost instantly. The ground cools, the air thins even more, and the temperature plummets at a pace that would shatter metal, freeze pipes, and crack stone. Inside your habitat, heaters hum constantly, systems burning energy just to keep the temperature survivable. A single malfunction, a broken circuit, a failed heater, a power outage, and the thin walls of your module become your coffin. The cold slips in silently, and before you even realize it, your breath fogs, your fingers stiffen, your body begins shutting down. On Mars, warmth is never permanent, it is borrowed time. Even your spacesuit, a marvel of human engineering, is not invincible. It is designed to hold heat to shield you from the frozen air outside, but the Martian environment tests it in ways Earth never could. The dust, sharpened powder fine, coats every surface, clogs every joint. It scratches at visors, eats at seals, weakens materials. A slight tear, a pin-sized hole, and the frost begins its assault. Within seconds, exposed skin crystallizes. Your breath hitches, your vision blurs, and the silent cold claims victory. On Earth, winter is an inconvenience. On Mars, it is a weapon. But the frozen desert does not just attack the body, it attacks survival itself. Think of water. On Earth, it flows, it nourishes, it sustains. On Mars, it hides locked in ice beneath the soil or trapped in frozen caps at the poles. To live for 30 days, you must extract it, melt it, recycle every drop. Every sip is a calculation. Every shower is a luxury. Waste is unthinkable because losing water in this frozen wasteland is not simply careless. It is a death sentence. Mars gives nothing freely. Every resource must be wrestled from the grip of ice. And yet, the strangest danger is psychological. Step outside and the world around you looks silent, endless, still. But your mind knows the truth. There is no warmth waiting for you. There are no fires to light, no blankets thick enough, no spring to melt the frost. It is a prison of cold, a reminder that this is not your home. Imagine 30 nights of hearing the wind scrape across the barren plains, knowing that just beyond the thin shell of your habitat, the air could freeze you solid, sleep becomes uneasy, dreams become shadows of the cold creeping closer. Each sunrise is not just another day, it is survival bought against impossible odds. But in this frozen red desert lies something more, something hauntingly beautiful. Because if humanity can endure this cold, if we can turn ice into water, frost into life, and barren soil into harvest, then Mars begins to transform. The desert stops being a wasteland and becomes a frontier. The same cold that seeks to kill us also challenges us to rise above what we thought was possible. For 30 days, it is our greatest enemy. But perhaps one day, it will be the wall we break to claim a second home beyond Earth. Step outside on Mars, and you'll notice something eerie. The sky above isn't the deep protective blue you've always known. It's pale, dusty, thin, and powerless. On Earth, we live under a shield. Our thick atmosphere and magnetic field deflect most of the deadly radiation that streams from the sun and from distant stars. But Mars is naked. It has no magnetic field, and its atmosphere is less than 1% the thickness of Earth's. That means the moment you stand on its surface, you are exposed to invisible killers, rays of energy so powerful they can slice through your body, alter your DNA, and begin a slow assault that no human senses can detect. Imagine this. You're walking across the Martian plains in your spacesuit, the horizon stretching endlessly when a solar storm erupts on the sun. On Earth, it would create dazzling auroras in the sky. On Mars, it means death. Charged particles race through space at nearly the speed of light, slamming into the planet. And without a thick shield, they hit you directly. You feel nothing at first. No pain, no heat, no sound. Yet inside your cells, chaos begins. DNA strands break, mutations spread. The seeds of cancer are planted in silence. This is not an attack you can run from. It is not fire or ice. It is radiation, invisible and merciless, and it is everywhere. Even without a storm, Mars is constantly bathed in cosmic radiation from deep space, neutrons, protons, heavy ions, particles that have traveled millions of years through the galaxy, rain down on the surface every moment of every day. 30 days on Mars is estimated to deliver a radiation dose equivalent to hundreds of chest X-rays, and unlike medical scans, this radiation does not target one area, it floods your entire body. It slips through your suit, through the walls of your habitat, through your very bones. Mars doesn't attack you with claws or fangs, it attacks with silence, with particles too small to see but powerful enough to unravel life itself. Now picture the psychological toll of this knowledge. Every time you step outside, you know you're being slowly poisoned. Every time you sleep inside your habitat, you wonder if the shielding is strong enough, if the materials can hold back the cosmic storm. You cannot see it, but you know it is there, an invisible shadow hovering over every action, every breath, every plan. Scientists call it exposure, astronauts call it risk. But in the mind of the one who must endure it, it feels like standing in the path of bullets you can never dodge. The consequences are not just distant. Radiation sickness begins subtly: fatigue, nausea, headaches, a weakness that creeps into your bones. Over weeks, the damage builds, blood cells are attacked, your immune system falters, your skin ages rapidly, your organs strain. Even vision can blur as the eyes themselves are assaulted by high-energy particles. And beyond 30 days, the dangers multiply. Cancers years later, genetic mutations that echo across generations, an invisible scar left on humanity's attempt to colonize the stars. Scientists have proposed shelters dug into the Martian soil, habitats built beneath lava tubes, or walls lined with thick ice and regolith to shield future explorers. But for the lone traveler, for the 30-day pioneer, survival depends on thin layers of human engineering and the hope that the sun remains quiet. Because if the sun unleashes its fury during your stay, Mars offers no mercy, no escape. You cannot outrun radiation. You can only hope your walls hold, and yet hidden within this danger is the same paradox that defines Mars. The very radiation that threatens us also holds clues to life, past or present. Ancient organisms, if they ever existed, would have been shaped by it. Future technology may even learn to harness or shield against it in ways we cannot yet imagine. But for now, the truth is chilling. For 30 days on Mars, the greatest threat you face may not be the freezing nights or the thin air. It is the storm you cannot see, the enemy you cannot feel, the invisible killers that strike from above and within. You can prepare for the cold, you can carry oxygen, you can build walls to block the radiation. But there is one enemy on Mars that no technology can fully protect you from: the human mind under isolation. 30 days on this barren world is not just a test of survival against the planet, but against yourself. Imagine waking up each morning in the same small habitat, four walls pressing in, no fresh air, no bird song, no sound of life beyond the faint hum of machinery. You glance outside the window and the view never changes. Red dust, jagged rocks, a horizon that feels endless yet empty. No oceans, no trees, no clouds drifting across a blue sky, just silence. It is not the silence of peace, it is the silence of abandonment, as if the universe itself has turned its back on you. At first, you distract yourself with tasks, checking the oxygen, maintaining the habitat, logging data. Routine becomes your anchor. But as the days stretch on, the repetition becomes a prison. Each sunrise looks the same, each sunset just another reminder that you are alone on a world where nothing lives. Hours crawl by, and in that stillness, your mind begins to wander to darker places. Humans are social creatures. We are wired for voices, for louder, for conversation. On Mars, there are no crowds, no footsteps, no familiar comfort of another human face, only your own reflection in a visor. Communication with Earth is delayed by minutes. You send a message, and the silence that follows feels like eternity. The weight of that delay begins to crush you. You realize that if something goes wrong, if you fall, if you break, if your mind begins to unravel, no one can help you in real time. You are, in every sense, profoundly alone. The psychological toll of isolation is not science fiction. It has already been studied in Antarctica, as research stations, in submarines beneath the ocean, and in long-duration space missions aboard the International Space Station. Sleep cycles become distorted. Dreams blur into waking moments. Anxiety creeps in. Mood swings sharpen. Some days, paranoia whispers in your ear. You begin to feel as if the very walls of the habitat are watching you, as if the silence outside has a voice. On Mars, 30 days can stretch into an eternity inside your mind. Then comes the sensory deprivation. On Earth, your eyes are fed a feast of colors, greens, blues, yellows, the living palette of a thriving world. On Mars, your vision is starved by red and brown, dust and rock. The monotony seeps into your thoughts. Some researchers call it the psychological desert. It's not just a lack of variety, it's the oppressive sameness, the feeling that the world itself has stopped changing. And in that stillness, you begin to feel trapped in a loop, as if time itself is standing still. But perhaps the greatest danger is loneliness. Loneliness on Earth is softened by the knowledge that you are never truly alone, that someone is always near, even if unseen. Loneliness on Mars is absolute. It is not just being apart from others, it is being separated by millions of miles by the impossible vastness of space. The thought can crush you. It can make every second feel heavier, every sound inside the habitat sharper, every moment of silence louder. Yet, here lies the paradox once again. Isolation, while brutal, can also sharpen the human spirit. Some find clarity in solitude. Some discover strength they never knew they had. 30 days on Mars could break a mind, but it could also forge one, turning fear into focus, loneliness into resilience, silence into a reminder of how deeply we need connection and how precious it is when we have it. Still, the truth is inescapable. The red planet is not only a frozen desert or a radiation storm, it is a mirror. It reflects back at you everything you carry inside. And for 30 days, the greatest question may not be whether your body can survive Mars, but whether your mind can survive yourself. For 30 days, Mars tests you. It steals your air, weakens your body, freezes your bones, poisons you with radiation, and buries you in silence. And yet, hidden beneath all of this danger lies a glimpse of tomorrow, a vision of what could be if humanity dares to stay, to adapt, to build. Because survival on Mars isn't just about fighting against the planet, it's about learning to live with it. Picture yourself stepping into a small greenhouse built within the habitat. Inside, lights glow against the red dust, illuminating rows of green leaves sprouting from soil that once seemed barren. Scientists have already tested this on Earth, simulating Martian soil and coaxing plants to grow with recycled water and nutrients. For 30 days, you could eat food grown on Mars, not just as a meal, but as a symbol of something far greater, proof that life can take root even where it should not. Each bite is more than survival, it's a statement. Humanity can build tomorrow here. Water, too, transforms. In the frozen ground beneath your boots lies ice, hidden in layers of soil and trapped in ancient deposits. With the right machines, that ice becomes liquid, and liquid becomes survival. Every drop filtered, recycled, reused, showing that even a frozen desert can be persuaded to give up its treasures. The technology we develop here doesn't just secure 30 days of life on Mars, it teaches us how to survive anywhere, even on Earth when resources run thin. The planet forces us to innovate, and in doing so, it whispers the future. And then there are the machines, solar panels spread across the dusty plains, batteries humming with stored energy, 3D printers building tools and structures out of Martian regolith itself. Every piece of technology is not just an invention, it is a seed of civilization. For 30 days, your shelter, your food, your oxygen are not just lifelines, they are prototypes of a future where cities may rise beneath domes, where children may play under artificial skies, and where Mars no longer feels like exile but like home. But perhaps the most important glimpse of tomorrow is not technological at all. It is human. The moment you stand on Mars and survive, you redefine what it means to be human. You are no longer bound to one world. You are part of a species that has extended its reach beyond the cradle of Earth. The dust beneath your boots may be alien, but the courage in your chest is ancient. It is the same courage that drove explorers across oceans, that built civilizations in deserts, that looked up at the night sky and dared to dream. 30 days on Mars proves that our future is not limited to one planet, it belongs to the stars, and yet tomorrow always comes with a price. Every risk, every hardship, every danger faced on Mars is the cost of progress. But isn't that the story of humanity, to walk into the unknown, to endure the impossible, and to emerge stronger? That is the glimpse of tomorrow. That is the legacy Mars offers us. Not comfort, not ease, but the chance to become more than what we are. So as we stand at the edge of this new frontier, one truth echoes across the silence of space: the red planet is not just a world of death, it is a world of beginnings. And if 30 days can teach us this much, imagine what 30 years could bring. Imagine what generations could build. Imagine what futures could rise under that pale, distant sun. And that is why Mars matters. Not because it is easy, but because it is hard. Not because it welcomes us, but because it dares us: a frozen desert, a silent prison, a deadly storm, and yet also a new tomorrow waiting to be claimed. The story does not end here. It begins here.